higher expectations in Duval County's public schools and what it means to you on this edition of School Matters. Whether you're a parent, employer, student, or employed in Duval County, the new school year is bringing changes that will impact you. Recognizing the need to provide knowledge and skills to students to make them competitive in a global workforce and economy, the public schools in Jacksonville are launching new programs aimed at fulfilling new, higher graduation requirements. Today, we'll look at the issues of academic rigor, advanced placement, teacher contracts, and school lunch nutrition. Hello, I'm Stacy Ellison, and let's begin with a look at the new graduation requirements and what's meant by the term academic rigor. Joining me is Duval County Public School Superintendent Joseph Wise, as well as Chief of High Schools Elaine Mann. Thank you both for being here. Thank you so much. Now, academic rigor, that sounds, very intimidating when you think of it, but it's really part of a whole new plan of graduation requirements, correct, Elaine?
Correct, yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, in June of this year, our school board adopted new graduation requirements for students in Duval County who are entering 9th grade for the first time. And just to kind of hit some of the highlights of it, graduation requirements have increased from 24 credits to 26 credits. Students will be required to take, in addition to Algebra 1 and Geometry, Algebra 2, they will be required to take for math and for science. We're very excited about new courses, the Keystone course, which gives students an opportunity to make a 10-year plan for themselves, thinking ahead, as well as a capstone project. And the other major change would be the 2 years of a foreign language that will be required for all students.
All of these things certainly aimed at getting these students ready for the global workforce and to be competitive, not here locally, but worldwide. Correct, Dr. Wise?
Absolutely. We spent about 3 months in deliberations with the school board about this plan, and when they did adopt it in June, it was a lot of work to gain agreement on exactly what we needed, and the board was very pushy about wanting our kids to be truly competitive with students in Orlando, Miami, Tampa, Atlanta, Charlotte, you name it. We want Jacksonville kids to be truly competitive. We've passed high school graduation requirements that are, quite frankly, the most rigorous in the state, and they're the right requirements. They're going to make our students truly competitive so that if they don't go to college, it's because they chose not to go to college. Our job is to get them ready to have that choice to go to college through being competitive.
Thus this term academic rigor. Explain to me a little bit about what exactly that is, what that means for parents and students.
Well, let me tell you what rigor is not. Rigor is not worksheets filling in the blank. Okay. Rigor is not work that's at the knowledge or comprehension level. It's work that really requires students to think, to get to the levels of at least application and analysis, and hopefully onto synthesis and evaluation. So it's more of a thinking curriculum than it is just spitting back knowledge and facts and comprehension, so it goes well beyond that.
We want these students to be able to analyze and process and apply the information as well, correct?
Correct.
Now, when we talk about this, these are new graduation requirements, more rigorous standards on a day-to-day basis. Parents are going to want to know, what is this going to mean for me, our family, my student, the time spent with our homework and that type of thing? What's this going to mean day-to-day for the students and parents?
Well, I think one part of our challenge is changing a culture. That we're living in a society where I don't know that we've realized yet that we have to suffer some short-term pains for some long-term gain. It is getting our priorities straight, thinking about what is it that we want to do after we graduate from high school. What are the opportunities that we want to have available to us? So it will require more application, and a lot of that is going, like I said, to change the culture of the parent as well as of the child.
One of the things Mrs. Mann said to another media partner of ours when interviewed was, kids pretty much rise up to the level of expectations set forth for them. And when you work at this analysis, synthesis, problem-solving mode, it's more fun. It's more engaging. And so while one might think, well, it's counterintuitive to raise the bar when we've got a dropout issue we want to solve, making it harder, students will fall out of the equation, they're not going to make it. Frankly, the opposite's true. It's more engaging, they see the value proposition, and so in remaking our high schools, that's what this is all about, and our school board's been clear. We want the best high schools in the nation. Well, to get the best high schools in the nation, it starts with expectations and rigor. So.
And could I add something to that? The studies have shown when they've questioned dropout, 66% of them say they wished they had been made to work harder, and if they had been, they would have.
It's about challenging these students to do what we know they can. Maybe they just don't know they can. correct?
Correct.
Absolutely.
Spot on.
This is certainly something that I know parents and students alike are going to be very interested in as we move into this new school year. Finally, what resources are being provided in the schools to help students and parents step it up? Additional help being there, counseling, what's going on in the school at the school level?
Well, there's a variety of safety nets that we're putting in place. Probably too many to list right now, but some of them are, of course, the traditional things like the additional assistance after school. A lot of our courses are being double blocked, in some cases two teachers who are working with a group of students. We're looking at adding some after school programs with some with a software package that will also provide assistance. We give them opportunities for grade recovery so that they do have additional opportunities to show down the line that they met the standard when perhaps maybe they didn't meet it on the first go round.
So certainly a lot is there. These standards aren't just being put in place and parents and students left to fend for themselves.
No.
There are plenty of resources available, Dr. Wise?
Yes, that's the old day. You know, I'm going to teach it the way I teach it, and you get it or not, that's up to you. That's your problem. And our teachers are way above that. Our teachers are engaged in this, helping us think about how do we deliver to this school board and this community the best high schools in the nation. And that's part of the equation, is having a safety net like Mrs. Mann speaks about, so that we don't allow kids and frankly parents to fall through the gaps as we're moving them on to bigger and better things.
If I could just share what I heard an AP teacher say to a class the other day, none of you in here will fail as long as you come to school. I'm here for you. When you're having problems, you see me. I have 101 strategies to help you. So we really are seeing a change in the culture of our teachers too.
An exciting year ahead.
Yes, it is.
Thank you all so much. We appreciate it. Thank you for coming by. Still to come, it's been called groundbreaking. So just what's involved in this new teacher's contract, plus the challenges of advanced placement, all coming up in School Matters.
I wonder if famous authors like Jane Austen, Ernest Hemingway, Maya Angelou, or William Shakespeare ever dreamed of making a career out of writing when they were growing up. After reading and analyzing works by these great authors in school, I now dream of going to college and earning degrees in language arts and journalism, which would be my tickets to literary success. In fact, I've already picked out the spot on my shelf for my first Pulitzer.
Duval County Public Schools, inspiring dreams that influence tomorrow.
When the only goal of going to school was high school graduation, students taking advanced placement courses were looked on differently by their peers. But in today's reality, where even many traditional so-called blue-collar jobs require strong skills in geometry, physics, trigonometry, and reading, AP courses may have more appeal. Joining Dr. Wise and me is Assistant to Superintendent for the College Board Schools Initiative, Layla Musa, and Ed Pratt-Daniels, Chief Academic Officer of the Duval County Public Schools. Thank you both for being here.
Welcome.
Let's talk first, Ed. What are AP courses? How are they different from the standard curriculum, if you will?
Well, first of all, it's a national curriculum, and they are built to parallel what they would ordinarily take in a college level course. However, it's taught by a high school teacher on the high school campus. They receive high school credit and receive college credit, and it depends on the university how much credit they give them based on their score. They're scored on a 1 to 5, and it's a national criteria scored at the national level, so it has a great credibility with the colleges and universities.
And where are the AP classes offered? Is this something that's offered in every high school, or tell me a little bit about that?
Every high school now has a full range of AP courses. This is something we've worked towards, but we dramatically increased it this year. So there's great equity across the district in terms of the kinds of offerings that are available.
That's certainly good news. So with the program being available county-wide, if you will, how would a student go about knowing, or a parent go about evaluating if in fact their student is ready for AP courses?
We have a couple of avenues that we take advantage of, quite honestly. In the past, it was primarily teacher recommendation, counselor recommendation. One of the goals of advanced placement and our work towards advanced placement is to give every student and a parent an opportunity to come into the program. So some of the criteria that we look at are the norm reference tests that students have taken in the past. Of course, their report cards. We look at the PSAT scores, and part of the PSAT is a report that we get back for every child called AP Potential. potential. And AP potential specifically details the area where the child has the greatest strength. And so with all of those pieces of information coming together, counselors sit down with parents and students and talk about their future and possibilities of going into some of our advanced placement courses.
And how is AP enrollment in the district overall? Are parents and students very receptive to giving this a try?
Well, so far they are, yes, and we did have a dramatic increase this year, going up from 4,000 to almost 11,000 students, and so a dramatic increase in the number of students taking advanced placement. We think it's going to, for the most part, parents are going to rise to the occasion along with students. Where there are concerns, they sit down with the principal and the counselor and work that through, but we're strongly encouraging parents and students to step up to this level of rigor, because we're not only concerned about them getting in college, but if they have this level of rigor, they'll know what to expect and more likely complete college, which is another whole issue in terms of how far our students get.
But Dr. Wise, as we mentioned before, even for students, college maybe it might not be for. Certainly, if it's not for them, these AP courses can still help them when going out into the workforce.
Absolutely. You mentioned blue-collar jobs. You know, blue-collar is almost an archaic and outdated term because you look at, like aircraft mechanic, we use that often. You now need more than algebra skills to do aircraft mechanic work.
Absolutely.
Skills that are calculus related, advanced geometry related, etc. And I just have to brag a bit on Mr. Pratt-Daniels, Ms. Musa, and our principals and teachers in the high schools. Ms. Musa has dedicated her full time this year to pushing this College Board initiative. And like Mr. Pratt-Daniels mentioned, more than 4,000 students, about 4,200 last year. We're almost 11,000 students taking one or more AP classes. And you know, you look at schools like Ribault High School. We've been hearing a little bit about Ribault in the news, and they've gone from 47 students in advanced placement to 269. We'll do 327 AP exams at Ribault High School this year. They did 89 last year. That's phenomenal. Sandalwood, we heard a little about Sandalwood in the news this year. And it's interesting, they had 247 students in one or more advanced placement classes last year. 1,079 at Sandalwood are going to take 1,400 AP exams. Phenomenal. So election year, we've got a school board, 3 real important members running for election, and on the campaign trail out there we have somebody talking, misquoting facts about Sandalwood. And the fact of the matter is Sandalwood High School has got some incredible things going on, just like all our high schools, and I couldn't be more proud of the work here, because we're saying Jacksonville is going to prepare kids to be competitive with all the major cities in the state and in this nation, and it's our time. So I'm pretty proud of the work that's going on here.
We're extremely excited, especially about our 9th graders. We have over 2,500 9th graders for the first time in Duval County taking advanced placement human geography class. And it was delightful this morning for me to be able to visit a class and to see the pride on the faces of these 9th graders who are sitting in a 9th grade advanced placement course. And of course, teacher training is a critical part of our entire advanced placement focus, and that's one of the primary focuses that we're looking at right now, is continued teacher training in advanced placements.
Now, what plans are in place to continue to increase this enrollment in future years in AP courses?
Well, right now we are, the plans have really begun now with our 9th graders beginning with advanced placement in 9th grade.
So a lot of it is retention.
Absolutely. And part of the goal, and parents are already asking that, is how can my child get assistance for advanced placement courses? And Ms. Mann alluded to that in the previous section. We are developing a very comprehensive safety net program to assist parents and students with those classes.
Exciting things for parents and students alike, preparing them for the future.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next on School Matters, lunches, nutrition, and the issue of childhood obesity, coming up.
Most people think going to a city school is tough. Well, they're right, because you never know what you'll face, especially when you've got Miss Wait for chemistry. Her pop quizzes are the scariest thing I know.
Challenging courses, safe schools, and top-notch teachers. Kids are succeeding in America's city schools. What did you expect?
The issue of childhood obesity has been making headlines in the media recently, and many parents have concerns about what their kids are eating at school. Doug Ayers is Chief Operating Officer of Duval County Public Schools, and Pam Miranda is a licensed dietitian with Aramark, who has the school's food service contract. They're joining Dr. Wise and me to look at nutrition in the schools. Now, as the mom of 2 school-aged children, Pam, one of my biggest things in the morning is I got to get you out the door with something nutritious, because there really is a tie between good nutrition and academic performance.
Absolutely. Research shows us that eating breakfast and lunch will improve student behavior in the classrooms, it will improve test scores, and it will lessen the absenteeism and the tardiness that happens in the schools. And of course, breakfast is the all-time most important meal of the day.
Absolutely.
And without breakfast, you don't have that additional fuel to get your brain moving for positive learning.
For children and adults alike, you know, we all have that mid-morning lull when you haven't had anything to eat, for sure.
Right. Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about what the schools are doing to promote good nutrition.
Well, first of all of our menus are planned according to the USDA nutrient standards. The nutrient standards are set according to the age and the grade of the students in each individual school. So, for example, an elementary school will have different nutrient standards than a middle or a senior high.
Okay.
And then all of our menu items, our ingredients, we use the best quality possible. We use reduced fat cheeses, reduced fat salad dressings. This year the menu has more chicken and turkey added to it. Okay. And we have enhanced our salad and our sandwich options. And of course, with our new production center, we're looking forward to doing a lot more with our healthy choices that we offer the students.
Okay, it's one thing to offer this good food. It's often quite another thing to get the children to eat it, or even get the parents to buy into the whole idea that there is healthier food offered at the schools. What's being done to get that message out to both students and parents?
Well, I think the county, the district certainly partners with Aramark in getting the communications out. We have newsletters. We also have visits to schools to educate the children about nutrition. And I know Pam certainly could augment that with a lot more detail, but we are trying to communicate and make sure that the word is getting out.
Now, do students have to enroll in the lunch program? How exactly does that process work?
For students that may come from families that are eligible to receive free meals or reduced meals as part of the USDA National School Lunch Program, yes, they do have to fill out an application. And they have to meet the requirements of the USDA financially in order to receive meals at reduced rates. But any child can have a lunch at the price of, I believe it's $1.30 for elementary and $1.45 for secondaries.
But you know, the beautiful thing in Duval County about the free and reduced lunch sign-up is that we do it so that it's discreet, so that it's not advertised among other students. And that's really important because we get federal assistance for that, so that we can make sure that the students are getting the breakfast and the lunch. And this is the time of year to make sure that families are enrolled for that if they think they're eligible, and the principal can help them know those particulars. And when I had a chance to spend some time last week with Mr. Ayers and some of our school board members in Aramark at this new nutrition center, wow, we have something really wonderful to be proud of.
Now that is a new facility where everything is coming from one location out to the entire county, correct?
That's correct. And you know, we have a chance to improve nutrition, improve taste, and improve costs so that we keep prices down for those who do pay. And I'm just really proud of the vision of the school board. Mr. Ayers and others started this project a good bit of time before I got here, and seeing it open is terrific.
We are very excited about it, and just a short history is we used to have centralized production locations at schools around the county, but really when we did a review of that operation, we saw that we could do it better. And there are these production facilities elsewhere, and we visited and modeled and took the good lessons from that as we designed and brought this online. But we're very excited about the quality, the consistency, and really the ability to change and affect menus quickly that Pam referred to with new requirements, nutrient requirements. We're really excited about that. And certainly too, the customer service touch. That is in the school operation, in the school kitchens, it'll change there a little bit, in that some of this intense cooking and preparation is done in one location, And in the kitchens, it's more of reheating and serving, and the interaction with the students is really enhanced.
That's wonderful. Now, we've talked nutrition, but something else, Pam, that is at issue is portion control. How is that managed as well?
Well, portion control is managed through the preparation, and managers have information on serving sizes and what's expected for each individual item on the menu, and they have the utensils needed to portion out the correct portions and their sizes to the students.
Let me give you an example. I was at Revault High School the other day, coincidentally, and I was back during the preparation time, and there was a lady taking French fries in a little container on a scale and weighing them 4 ounces. So they were weighing each portion. So there's a lot of detailed effort to make sure the portions are controlled.
So we're talking good, how's it taste? Good?
Absolutely.
Good taste,
Excellent.
good nutrition, proper portions, all aimed towards getting healthier kids.
Absolutely.
For the county. Thank you all so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next on School Matters, new teacher contracts for the school year. We'll talk about it next.
The Duval County School Board welcomes the opportunity to meet with parents, business representatives, citizens, and all community members as the district extends its reach towards even higher levels of excellence. Each month, the school board is conducting community meetings in each school board district throughout the county, creating a monthly forum for constituents to discuss cares, concerns, and celebrations about Duval County Public Schools. The next monthly meeting will take place at the following location and time: Duval County Public Schools, reaching new heights of excellence.
Classroom teachers are seen by many as the key to student success. Joining Dr. Wise and me to look at the new teacher contracts are Terry Brady, President of Duval Teachers United, and Vicki Reynolds, Human Resources Chief for the Duval County Public Schools. Thank you, ladies, for being here.
Thank you.
Terry, tell me, what does this contract mean for teachers here in Duval County?
Well, to have a finished contract when the employees at the very beginning of the year, it's about morale. It's about our employees feeling respected by the board and by their union. It's about knowing where their path is going to be on their paychecks and what their benefits are. And it's about the enhancement of their working conditions. But, you know, it's not just about what's on paper. It's about the overall image and message that the school board and the superintendent has sent to the employees, that is, we value you, that, you know, we want to go ahead and give you as much possible to reward you and to thank you, and to set the year, the whole tone for the entire year for all of our employees out in the district. It sets a great positive tone.
Vicki, happy teachers has to mean a happy system overall, huh?
Oh, absolutely. It's incredible to be able to go on with the work of the district, knowing that the teachers know what they're going to make, know what their paycheck's going to look like, know what their benefit package is going to be, and they can then concentrate on the things that are important in the classroom.
Educating the students.
Right, absolutely. It's a great feeling.
Dr. Wise, this contract has been called groundbreaking. Why would that be?
Well, what DTU and Vicki were able to negotiate was a 2-year agreement. And at least going back 20 years, we don't see that in Duval County's history. So we think it is groundbreaking. They also added to the language more decision-making between principals and faculty on how they spend planning time together and look at data together. And so I think it's groundbreaking for our students and certainly for our competitiveness. And you know, when I came into the job, the school board was very clear. We want this to go quickly, meaning the negotiations. Separately, Mrs. Brady, very clear, we want this to go quickly. Separately, our chief negotiator on the school board side, Vicki, we want this to go very quickly, and we were able to do that, I think, through some very good work at the table, and the school board working behind the scenes to kind of get, to maintain agreement as we go about investing in the teachers, et cetera, and so it worked greatly for us, and I'm proud of you.
Now, Dr. Weiss just mentioned competitiveness, being competitive to pull those good teachers here, and certainly that has to do with salary. How do Duval County teachers' salaries stack up with the rest of the state?
Well, we are trying to make our salaries as competitive as possible to get the teachers. That's very important for human resources. Our starting salaries are going to be great. We're starting this year at $35,200, and next year we know we're at $37,000. Comparatively, we have the second highest settlement so far in the state. among the large counties, and really what's more important to us is our surrounding counties, because most people who want to live in North Florida don't look at other large counties in the south, so they'll be looking at the surrounding counties, and we are definitely ahead with our starting salary and our settlements.
And I assume that there is still aggressive recruiting for new teachers going on, because there seems to always be a shortage of teachers.
Right, especially in certain areas. We have critical shortage areas that we're always looking for teachers to fill those positions. And so now, knowing what our beginning salaries are going to be this year and next year, we can get out on the road and go get those teachers and sell them on Duval County.
What are some of those critical shortage areas we're talking about?
We're usually short in math, reading, science, special ed, and believe it or not, we're starting to have a shortage in elementary, something we never thought we'd have a shortage in.
And paraprofessionals kind of bridge that gap, if you will, help out in the classroom a little?
Absolutely. There are support staff, and they also have a very good settlement. We settle those contracts also. The paraprofessionals are assistants to the teachers. Many of them we are trying to grow to become teachers. So they have their own career ladder, and we are able to give them the experience they need to become great teachers.
Basically, the goal to recruit, train, and retain quality teachers.
And the other thing you need to know is not only do we talk a lot about the beginning salary, but money was spread across the entire salary schedule, not only to recruit and be competitive among, nationwide for the best and the brightest to come to this district, but our middle group of teachers, like from 10 to 15, and the teachers at the top of the salary schedule, they all got some of the largest dollar settlements that we have had in years because of the value the board and the union placed on the need to keep those best and brightest veteran teachers who have great teaching skills, and we want to keep them here and show that they're valued. So it was an exciting settlement.
I must say that from my vantage point, imagine how great it is in my job when you have a school board completely focused on students and student achievement. Many aren't. When you have a union that represents teachers and paraprofessionals and office workers truly focused on students and student achievement. When you have executives in the organization around you truly focused on student and student achievement. And this was about students and student achievement throughout the negotiating period, and I think it caused it to go more quickly, and it caused everything, including the economic decisions, to be about what are we doing for kids in terms of retaining and recruiting teachers. So it's a great day in Duval County, and so I think that gives you the answer of why it's groundbreaking, and we hope to keep this trend up, right?
Oh yes, absolutely. We do hope that.
Teachers, certainly some of the most important workers here in our community, in the world actually. You're educating our kids. Thank you all so much for coming. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
If you have any questions about the Duval County Public Schools, you can send an email to schoolmatters@educationcentral.org, and we'll respond in future shows. I'm Stacy Ellison. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next month for the next edition of School Matters.